Get ready. Sit down. Get your pen and paper or get your laptop ready because we're going to hold the first ever CPL draft. Here we go. We're going to start out in Hamilton, ladies and gentlemen. Hamilton, Ontario. These are my selections. I'd love to hear your selections out there. Tweet me and tell me what you like and what you like to see differently, maybe in different cities of different coaches where I put them. And as I said, I'm going to leave a couple spots open that I'd like to hear from you out there. So here we go. Hamilton with Bobby Simiotis and Dino Perry. We will go 2 coaches per city. 2 coaches per city. Usually that's a good enough number, a head coach and assistant coach. And I'm not going to say who's the head coach and who's the assistant coach. So we'll just leave it at that. But as we said, here we go again. Let's start it again. CPL first ever coaches draft. Starting with Hamilton, Bobby Simiotis, Dino Perry. Then let's move down to Kitchener-Waterloo, Martin Painter, Stuart Neely. We move down to London, Ontario, Mark Dos Santos, Philip Dos Santos. Next, to the nation's capital, Ottawa, Julian de Guzman, Peter Pinizzotto. Next, we move out west to Calgary, Tommy Wheeldon, Len Vickery. We stay out west, Edmonton with Colin Miller. And here is one of the spots I've left open to hear from you out there. Bring me someone else to insert right here with Edmonton. Your choice. Maybe it's someone that I'm not going to announce or give out here in this draft, but that's one spot I left open. Bring me someone to put on the bench of Edmonton with Colin Miller. Next, we stay out west again. Victoria with Mike Mosher, Nick Dasevich. And we stay out west once again with Fraser Valley, Mark Watson. And the next spot is open once again. Get me someone to sit next to Mark Watson. Put them on that bench. And there is a spot right there. I'd love to hear from you out there at 4. Totera, let me know who you'd put on that bench right there. In Saskatchewan, whether they're playing in Regina or Saskatoon, here we go. Rafael Carbajal. And I left another spot open there as well. Bring someone to help out there on the bench with Rafael Carbajal, who I believe will be a big part of a CPL club. Whether it's in Saskatchewan with Regina or Saskatoon, I believe it will be with a club. Next, Winnipeg with Jeff Paulus, Sean Fleming. Now, many of you have tweeted me in the past and said, Anthony, what about some of the former Canadian coaches out there that coach the under-17 and the under-20 teams? Are you going to consider them for some of these spots, especially Winnipeg? There was some whispers out there that someone might get an opportunity out there. Hey, I'm not the owner, I'm not the general manager, but for my money, I would put Jeff Paulus and Sean Fleming right there. No one else. And if you want to maybe change it up a little bit and put one of the guys that I put out in Victoria or Fraser Valley and bring them there to Winnipeg, I got no problem with that. But I believe Jeff Paulus and Sean Fleming with Winnipeg. Halifax with Stephen Hart and Tony Fonseca. Laval with Pat Raimundo and Jason DiTullio. That is Laval. And we're down to the last couple teams, and we'll leave the biggest one to the end. Vaughan, I believe, will be in CPL. When? Don't ask me, because my lips are sealed. I can't tell you, but I believe they'll be in. Vaughan with Carmen Asako and Anthony Capitosto. That is Vaughan. And last but not least, Toronto with Paul Pescasolo and Danny Dicchio. The tag team duo, double shock power with Danny Dicchio and Paul Pescasolo. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do it all over once again to give you my list. With Hamilton, Bobby Semiotis and Dino Perry. Kitchener, Waterloo, Martin Painter, Stuart Neely. As we mentioned, Toronto with Danny Dicchio, Paul Pescasolo. London with Mark Dos Santos, Philip Dos Santos. Winnipeg with Jeff Paulus, Sean Fleming. Saskatchewan, whether it's Regina or Saskatoon, with Rafael Carbajal. And bring another one alongside with Rafael. That is your choice out there. Vaughan with Carmen Asako and Anthony Capitosto. Fraser Valley, Mark Watson. And bring someone else alongside to sit and help out Mark Watson. That is your choice once again. You select who you want. Ottawa, Julian de Guzman and Peter Penizzotto. Calgary, Tommy Wheeldon and Len Vickery. Halifax with Stephen Hart and Tony Fonseca. Laval with Jason DeTulio and Pat Raimundo. And Victoria with Mike Mosher and Nick Dasevich. Finally, Edmonton with Colin Miller. And I left another spot open for you to bring someone along that bench with Colin Miller. So there you have it. I got a couple honorable mentions. These next positions are hard. I haven't really kept tabs on a lot of them, but there is a couple, I would say 3 or 4 quality people that I believe belong. As goalkeeper coaches, to the tops in all of Ontario and all of Canada for that matter are as follows. I believe they belong with one of these clubs, one of these cities. Paulo Ciccarelli and Dominic Gentile. Trainers as follows, 2 of the best. One is with right now Miami FC in the NASL, Paolo Paccioni, and he worked with the Montreal Impact as well. And then Richard Bucciarelli, and a lot of work with university and clubs, and these are 2 guys I believe are ready to be on benches. So there you have it. As I said, tweet at me, for Totera. Maybe there's someone I missed that you believe belongs in there. Let's debate it. Let's talk about it. But that's my list. Those are all Canadian coaches. Those are all Canadian coaches. They're all ready to rock and roll on benches. They're all ready to help make a difference in a league that will be launching very, very soon. These guys are all capable. They're hungry. They're motivated. They're ready. They belong. I believe they belong. Many people in CPL believe they belong. They'll be given a fair shot. I believe a lot of these guys. And they'll be given a shot to be either the head coach or an assistant coach. That's why I wasn't going to go through who I believe was a head coach and who was an assistant, because all these guys' names that I gave out, I believe each and every one of them are head coaches with any pro team in CPL in Canada, anyone. So I'm not going to, spotlight in someone and say, you're the head coach and you're the assistant. That's not fair, and that's not for me to do. But I believe 2 guys per bench across this great country of ours in CPL squads, these guys absolutely belong. So there you have it. These guys here, I believe, will get a real strong consideration and a look once CPL kicks off. Take a commercial break, take a deep breath, and then, as I said, between 8:39, we'll talk some grassroots with 2 parents, one from Montreal, one from Mississauga, and we'll go in depth on some of the comings and goings as parents as they are with their kids in the system, and we'll talk about if they're getting the most bang for their buck. A commercial break and coming back right here on Red Card. Stay tuned.